And the goal as a commercial filmmaker is to captivate a wide audience in a short amount of time. So how do we do that? With something short, sweet, and explosive. I have hundreds of wacky ideas flying through my head all the time, but when one sticks, I feel like I have to drop everything and just focus on that idea. Mostly because I want to see if it's going to be possible to do. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to show you one of those wacky ideas and how it turned out. When I first started product videos a year ago, one of my first videos was a fun video I did of Boom Chicka Pop, where I came up with a few unique ideas, one being my cyclone spinner, the other having popcorn explode out of the bag as it was flying through the air. The concept caught the attention of Daniel Schiffer, who wanted to recreate it for a cereal commercial, which helped jumpstart my YouTube career.
Person who inspired today's video, that is Austen Paul.
It was so cool to see this method I created inspired so many people around the world.
Looking back at what I did then and a bunch of product videos later, I wanted to take what I've learned now and implement that to make what I created before much better. So I'm super excited because I've recently launched my product video course, which is jam-packed with a lot of information that will help take your product videos to the next level. Have you ever shot a product but hate the lighting, or the product is damaged and you want it to look better and want to fix it in post? I can show you how. Want to take a picture and learn how to animate it in After Effects to use it for a sweet transition? I can show you how. Want to create a custom backdrop for videos to make them really stand out? I can show you how. Don't miss out on my course. If you want to make a career in product filmmaking or just up-level your skills, the link to join my course is in the bio below. So this concept for filming is actually super easy and simple and can be broken down into two shots. One clean shot of the product rotating on a contrasting background, and the other is the smaller ingredients or smaller product that you want to explode from the main product. So I got most of my lighting set up, and now what I'm doing is I'm just creating my stand. I got this for my FPV drone, and then I just took two skewers like this, so that it's gonna have holding points on both sides of the back of the bag, because I'm not showing the back of the bag, so I'm not worried about that. And then other than that, I think it's gonna be sitting pretty well. So I'm just gonna stab these through the bottom right here and here, and I think we're gonna be pretty good. But I have the R5 on an 85, and then I have a polarizer just to control the highlights. And then what I'm doing right here is on this side, I have my BL300 on a rectangular softbox, and then I have a Roscoe diffusion just to make it extra soft right here. And then on this side, I have an Aperture 300 with a grid. And no, you don't need this powerful of lights. You don't need them to be super bright. These are the lights that I have for the ones that I bought at the time, because I was trying to, balance out my probe lens. So you can get much cheaper lights and use very simple lights like a Godox. And then, like I said, I've already explained all of this down here. But if we move up to the top right up there, I have another Aperture 300D, and I have a lantern. And what that's doing, it's lighting the back of this bag, right? But it's also lighting the backdrop. In the backdrop, we're gonna be green screening, which is a common misperception because people think that for a green screen, you need to have a green or blue screen, but really it's just the contrast or the opposite of what this bag is gonna be, or has the hues of it in there. And this orange is very contrasted comparatively to purple. So we are using orange as our backdrop. What I'm doing right here is I have two C-stands coming in like this at the back, and they're pretty much just cutting off the bounce of the orange backdrop right here. Because what a lot of people don't realize is when you're shooting with a green screen or anything like that, whatever color you have and that you're lighting in the background is gonna have a lot of bounce, and it's gonna reflect onto this bag right here, and it's gonna create orange hues on this bag. And so if I wanna change the color and background, it's not gonna look very realistic for the fact that we have orange hues on here, say if I don't want to use orange as the background. So that's just something you want to be aware of when you're doing this, is to cut that off. And so I'm just using these as flags. It's just duvetine on clips on a C-stand on both sides, and it's just blocking the bounce so that we're not getting a bunch of orange. If my hand's right here in the center, there's a bunch of orange on it, but as I move out to the sides like this, there's no orange because we're blocking that bouncing color coming back at us. So yeah. What we're doing now is I'm just taking different pieces of the popcorn and we're sticking them on this skewer stand that I built, and we're just getting them turning really slowly. And I pulled down the black background because that's contrast to this. And then pretty much I'm just gonna grab like 5 or 6 different popcorns and then make them their own sizes. And then from there, we're gonna be able to mask that out and then use that for the exploding shot. And then now the next thing that we're gonna do is try and get some of the kernels popping with a heat gun and get those close up as well. So let's do that next. The last shot I'm doing, I haven't changed the lighting at all. And what I'm getting now is I'm getting rotating kernels. So I bought some microwavable kernels and I broke open the bag and used a needle and I just stabbed them so they'd sit on the needle. And I'm having them spin on this Lazy Susan and just gaff taped it to my stand. And since they already have butter on them, I'm using a heat gun, which you could use probably like a blow dryer or hair dryer. And I'm just using this heat gun and I'm just roasting them slowly as they spin and capturing it now at 120 frames on the R5. And with that, what I'm trying to do is get a few of them flying out as kernels because I want to show a few of them exploding as they come towards the camera. I've shot this before, like this technique that I came up with for getting the popcorn to look like it's exploding or like popping open. I've done this before when I first started doing the boom chick pop thing, but so I have a little bit of experience and I know exactly what I needed. You just have to be very patient because not every single kernel, if you've ever, microwave popcorn, not every single kernel will pop. Now let's break down the editing portion. I will dive into this, but it can get really complex, which will take too much time for this YouTube tutorial. If you want to understand more of this in detail, I go over all these kind of concepts in my course that you can check out. There are a lot of ways to get this final look. So the first thing you're going to want to do is remove the object and then also remove the smaller object either by using something like a key light or a chroma keyer or even masking it out. After you do that, you're going to want to build your background by filling in a layer or choosing a color to be your background color. After that, it's all about using key points for your product. First having it start far away and then come closer to the camera. Then your smaller product starting behind your main product and then flying out towards the camera as well. Keep it fast and smooth to create an explosive look. Add some motion blur and some focal blur to give it a more realistic look. And then boom, you have your exploding product. Simple, sweet, easy, and your clients will love it. I think this is a super powerful tool and technique that can be used for more than the example with the popcorn that I'm showing you, but with any product that has key features that highlight the product. For example, a drink beverage flying out with different fruit flavors popping out with it, or a cheesy pizza with the tasty toppings flying out, even a book with pages, or pop rocks with sparklers. Let your imagination go wild. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It's been a blast to make. If you haven't joined my course and the awesome community we've built, be sure to check out the link in the bio below. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. If you haven't liked or subscribed, you know the drill. Until next time.